Then you present that al-hali wal-aqd. We'll get to that when we get to the story of Hussein anhu, creating a special section of society that, the amount of new invented conditions you threw out, honestly, where you got no backing, no precedent from the classical scholars.
Appointing a Muslim leader is done in two ways. The first way is al-ikhtiyar, which is choice. And the second one is al-qahr wal-ghalaba. There's no choice. It is force, in which through coup, the person comes into power. And I'm going to mention each type, how much they are, the evidences for it, and the ulama that spoke about it.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first one, which is al-ikhtiyar. Al-ikhtiyar is two ways. Choice. It's basically al-ahdu. A hakim gives to another hakim after him. So one leader gives it to another leader after him. And that is what Abu Bakr did for Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The second one is ikhtiyar. And the choice here is ahlul halli wal aqd. It's not one person who chooses. There's a committee of people who are choosing now. They are called ahlul halli wal aqd. They choose who they think is fit. And this is what Umar did, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, for them to choose Uthman. He didn't choose Uthman. He made a people called ahlul halli wal aqd. They were the ones who chose.
Okay.
And the evidence is for this is the Prophet's action. These two that the first one I spoke about, اختيار أهل الحل والعقد, and the issue of ahd, is فعل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبي بكر وعمر ابن الخطاب وإجماع أهل العلم. So these are my four evidences. The Prophet's action, Abu Bakr's action, Umar's action, and the consensus. You take them all together. Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, he said, قيل لعمر ibn al-Khattab. قيل لعمر ibn al-Khattab. It was said to Umar ibn al-Khattab, ألا تستخلف. Are you not going to appoint a person? And then he said, إن أستخلف فقد استخلف من هو خير مني أبي بكر. Abu Bakr. He said, if I choose somebody, then someone greater than me did that before me, which was Abu Bakr. So I'm following his footsteps.
Right.
وإن أترك, and if I choose not to appoint a particular person, فقد ترك من هو خير مني, a person who is better than me did that, and didn't mention a person. And who is that? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The message, and Abu Bukhari and Muslim both narrated this. There's a consensus that this type of choosing is valid, and it's a way of the Sharia. Abu al-Abbas al-Qurtubi al-Maliki brought a consensus. He said, وَقَدْ حَصَلَ مِنْ هَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَنَّ نَصْبَ الْإِمَامِ لَا بُدَّ مِنْهُ وَإِنَّ لِنَصْبِهِ طَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَدُهُمَا اجْتِهَادُ أَهْلِ الْحَلِّ وَالْعَقْدِ. So there's two ways that the leader has to be chosen. He said, first of all, it's a must that the leader gets appointed, and the way he gets appointed is by two ways. The first one, he said, أحدهما is اجتهاد أهل الحل والعقد. The أهل الحل والعقد are going to do independent reasoning, and they choose who they think is fit. والآخر, and the second one is النص, text. The text here, meaning, is to point the person who's going to do it. And this is إما على واحد بعين, one specific person is chosen, وإما على جماعة بأعيانها, or a group of people are chosen. ويفوض التخيير إليهم, and this committee or group of people, the matter is brought back to them to choose who they think is fit. Okay? وهذا مما أجمع عليه سلف الصالح. This is something that the Salaf al-Salih agreed upon. ولا مبالاة بخلاف أهل البدع. We don't give any look towards the innovators. في بعض هذه المسائل, in some of these issues which they mentioned, فإنهم مسبوقون بإجماع السلف. We're going to bring them back to the Salaf's consensus that preceded them. فإنهم لا يعتد بخلافهم على ما تقدم. Al-Mawardi also brought an ijma'. By the way, the kalam of Abu al-Abbas al-Qurtubi is in the kitab al-Mufhim lima ashkala min talkhis Sahih Muslim. Abu al-Abbas al-Qurtubi al-Maliki is a teacher of Abu Abdullah al-Qurtubi, the Mufassir.
Okay.
What he did is he summarized the kitab of Sahih Muslim, and then he done an explanation on it. He called it al-Mufhim lima ashkala fi talkhis Sahih Muslim. He explained it, and it's very good. Al-Mawardi also transmitted an ijma'. He said, وَأَمَّا إِنْعِقَادُ الْإِمَامَةِ بِأَحْدٍ مَنْ قَبْلَهُ فَهُوَ مِمَّنْ عَقَدَ الْإِجْمَاعُ عَلَى جَوَازِهِ. Okay, and then he's got a long statement in his kitab Ahkam al-Sultaniyah. Also Al-Imam al-Nawawi, he says, وَأَجْمَعُوا, the scholars are unanimously in agreement على اعتقاد الخلافة بالاستخلاف وعلى انعقادها بعقد أهل الحل والعقد لإنسان إذا لم يستخلف الخليفة. If the Khalifa doesn't choose the person, so he said it can be done by way of Khalifa. he appoints a person. Or he said it can happen by Ahlul Halli wal Aqd choosing a person. And he said this is an ijma'. Okay? وأجمعوا, and they also unanimously agreed upon على جواز جعل الخليفة making the matter of the Khalifa جعل أمر الخليفة الأمر الشورى بين جماعة. That the issue of the Khalifa is placed between a group of people to do shura amongst it. كما فعل عمر بستة, as Umar did with the 6 people he appointed. The same thing Abu Zur'at al-Iraqi, he mentioned rahimahullah, he brought a consensus in this issue in his kitab Tarh al-Tathrib. So he is the 4th Imam. Also Ibn Hajar brought the statement of Imam Nawawi, and he said وقال النووي وغيره أجمعوا على انعقاد الخلافة بالاستخلاف وعلى انعقادها بعقد أهل الحل والعقد. And he affirmed that statement. So those 5 imams are mentioning that the choosing is done by what? Way of istikhlaf.
Yeah.
And also it can be done by way of Ahlul Hal wal Aqd. Okay, they Ahlul Hal wal Aqd, they choose. Now here what I want to mention is 2 points. Ahlul Hal wal Aqd are particular people. We don't believe that umumun nas, the people, the general mass can go and choose. We don't believe
like
that.
democracy.
No, we don't believe that.
Okay.
And that goes against what our religion is about. Ibn Nujaym al-Hanafi, he says, وَتَنْعَقِدُ بَيْعَةُ أَهْلِ الْحَلِّ وَالْعَقْدِ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ الْمُجْتَهِدِينَ وَالرُّؤَسَاءِ. The bay'ah takes place and it happens through the bay'ah, the pledge of allegiance of the Ahlul Hal wal Aqd, from the ulama al-mujtahideen wal-ru'asa, and the people of chief leaders and stuff like that. Dusuqi al-Maliki, he said, لأن العلماء هم أهل الحل والعقد. That the ulama are أهل الحل والعقد. The same is what Abu al-Abbas al-Qurtubi said, al-Mawardi, al-Nawawi, Ibn Hajar, Abu Zur'at al-Iraqi, which I already mentioned. Abu Ya'la also said the same, rahimahullah rahmatan wasi'ah. He said it in his kitab al-Ahkam al-Sultaniyah. Also Ibn Muflih al-Hafid, he said it in his kitab al-Mubdi' fi Sharh al-Muqni'. And also al-Hajjawi al-Hanbali mentions it. Abdul Rauf al-Munawi says something. He says, تَنْعَقِدُ الْإِمَامَةُ عِنْدَ أَهْلِ السُنَّةِ. The imama will take place according to Ahl al-Sunnah ببيعة بعض أهل الحل والعقد. It doesn't have to be all of أهل الحل والعقد. Some of them can do it. And then he said, who are they? من العلماء والقضاة والرؤساء والأمراء وإن قلوا, even if they are little, لإجماع على إمامة أبي بكر. And this is a powerful point, because Abu Bakr, did all of the Muslims choose him? No. Was Abu Bakr Khalifatul lil Muslimin?
Yeah, of course
he was. All of Ahlul Hal wal Aqd, did they choose him? No. Okay, this is something else. Another point that I want to mention is Ahlul Hal wal Aqd are meant by the ulama, the ru'asa, and the sa'ir wujuh an-nas. Other people. It's people who have influence, have power. Ibn Nujaym al-Hanafi mentioned that. Ad-Dusuqi al-Malikiyu. Ibn Nujaym's statement, I already mentioned it to you. He mentions it in his kitab al-Bahr al-Ra'iq. Ad-Dusuqi al-Malikiyu, he says, لأن العلماء هم أهل الحل والعقد. Nawawi also says, والسادس وهو الأصح أن المعتبر بيعة أهل الحل والعقد من العلماء والرؤساء وسائر وجوه الناس الذين يتيسر حضورهم, those who can come. ولا يشترط, he says, it's not a condition in اتفاق أهل الحل والعقد في سائر البلاد, that all of the people of أهل الحل والعقد of all of the lands should all agree. That's not a must. And he mentions that in the kitab Rawdatul Talibin. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah also mentions that, which is the 4th Imam, rahimahullah. He mentions it in his kitab Minhaj Sunnah Nabawi, the 1st volume, page 527. Also Ibn Muflih al-Hafid, he mentions it rahimahullah ta'ala in his kitab al-Mubdi'. Also al-Hajjawi al-Hanbali, he mentions it in his kitab al-Iqna' fi fiqh al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and also, which is 4th volume, page 292. And Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin, he mentions it in his kitab Sharh al-Mumti', rahimahullah, the 14th volume, page 396.